Two Italian regions sit side by side east of Rome. One has mountain peaks where you can see the Adriatic while skiing. The other is so unknown that Italians joke it doesn't exist. Both offer property prices that make Tuscany look like a cruel joke. Both welcome expats. Both have medieval hill towns, national parks, and food that will ruin you for restaurants anywhere else. So which one should you choose? Abruzzo has infrastructure, expat communities, and an airport with international connections. Molise pays you €700 a month to move there, and has property so cheap you will check the listings twice, thinking there is a mistake. We spent weeks comparing official data, speaking with expats who live in both regions, and examining property markets, healthcare access, transport links, and what daily life actually looks like. What we found is that the choice between Abruzzo and Molise is not about which is better. It is about which matches your priorities. One offers more services and easier integration. The other offers deeper affordability and the chance to be part of something genuinely rare. Now, before we dive in, if you find this helpful, tap that subscribe button. You'll not want to miss what is coming next. Let us start with what makes each region distinct. Abruzzo is Italy's green heart. 1/3 of its territory sits inside national parks and protected reserves. The Gran Sasso mountain range dominates the west with peaks over 2,900 meters. The Adriatic coastline runs along the east with 80 miles of beaches. Between them, medieval towns cling to hillsides. The region has 1.3 million residents. It was isolated for decades with poor transport links, but infrastructure investment has changed that. Pescara, the regional capital, has an international airport. Rome is 2.5 hours by bus. The Adriatic motorway connects north to south. Molise sits directly below Abruzzo. It is Italy's second smallest and least populated region. 300,000 residents spread across 136 towns, and 106 of those towns have fewer than 2,000 people. This is not a region tourists visit by accident. There are no UNESCO sites that draw international crowds. No famous wines. No Michelin-starred restaurants. Just mountains, forests, Roman ruins, and villages where life moves at a pace that feels decades removed from Milan or Rome. The Molise Grant program, launched in 2019, offers €700 per month for up to 3 years to anyone who moves to a village with under 2,000 residents and opens a business. That is €25,200 total. Requirements include being between 18 and 40, though enforcement varies, and committing to live there for at least 5 years. The business requirement is real, but flexible. Some expats have opened Airbnbs. Others teach English online. The key is contributing to the local economy in some measurable way. Now let us talk about property. In Abruzzo, average prices sit around €1,345 to €1,365 per square meter. This is significantly lower than Tuscany, Umbria, or coastal Liguria. But within Abruzzo, prices vary dramatically. The coastal strip from Alba Adriatica to Ortona is the most expensive. These are the Seven Sisters resorts with blue flag beaches and good infrastructure. Expect higher prices here, though still far below equivalent coastal areas elsewhere. Move inland and prices drop. The Chieti province, particularly towns like Palmoli, has large expat communities and remains affordable. A 2-bedroom townhouse in Palmoli averages €35,000. Country houses with land regularly appear under €100,000. The area around Bomba and its lake tends slightly higher due to demand. Roccaspinalveti is cheaper but farther from the coast, about 50 minutes drive. Towns near the Gran Sasso offer unspoiled countryside and access to hiking. Casoli and Somona have active English-speaking communities that welcome newcomers. Properties here range from €50,000 for renovation projects to €150,000 to €200,000 for move-in-ready villas. In Molise, prices fall further. Rural properties regularly appear below €1,000 per square meter. A habitable stone house in a hilltop village can be found for €40,000 to €70,000. Renovation projects start lower. The trade-off is that Molise has fewer services, less infrastructure, and almost no existing expat community. You are pioneering rather than joining an established network. Healthcare is where Abruzzo shows clear advantages. The region falls under the Italian National Health System, SSN, like everywhere in Italy. but service density matters. Abruzzo has multiple hospitals including Pescara's main facility, and smaller hospitals in Chieti, L'Aquila, and Teramo. GP coverage is good. Most towns have local doctors and pharmacies. Specialist care is accessible. For serious medical needs, Rome is reachable. Molise has 2 main hospitals, one in Campobasso and one in Isernia. Smaller towns rely on medical centers that may have limited hours. For anything beyond basic care, you may need to travel to Campobasso, or even into Abruzzo or Campania. This is manageable, but requires planning. If you have ongoing medical needs that require regular specialist access, Abruzzo provides more security. Transport connectivity heavily favors Abruzzo. Pescara International Airport offers flights to Milan, Turin, London, Brussels, Barcelona, and other European cities. This matters if you plan to travel frequently or have family visiting from abroad. Train connections run along the Adriatic coast linking Pescara to Ancona in the north and Bari in the south. Buses connect inland towns to Pescara. Rome is accessible by both bus and train. Within the region, having a car makes life easier, but public transport exists. Molise has no commercial airport. The nearest is Pescara in Abruzzo or Naples in Campania. Train service is limited. The main line runs through Campobasso connecting to Naples and the Adriatic coast, but frequency is low. Buses serve major towns but schedules are sparse. A car is essentially mandatory in Molise. If you do not drive or prefer not to own a vehicle, Molise presents serious challenges. Climate in both regions is similar but with variations. Abruzzo's mountains bring heavy snow in winter. Towns at higher elevations like Roccaraso are ski destinations. The coastal strip has milder winters and hot summers. Southern Chieti province, towns like San Buono, Cerni, and Palutri, rarely see snow and stay temperate year-round. Molise follows a similar pattern. Coastal areas and lower elevations are mild. Mountain zones get significant snow. Villages like Capricotta and Campitello Matese are winter sports destinations. If you dislike cold and snow, choose lower elevation towns near the coast in either region. The expat community difference is significant. Abruzzo has established English-speaking populations. Palmoli is known for its British and American residents. Casoli has regular meetups and social groups. Sulmona attracts retirees from Northern Europe. You will find English speakers, organized events, and people who have navigated the bureaucracy before you and can offer advice. In Molise, you are largely on your own. There are expats, but they are scattered. Community events are Italian language. Local festivals and traditions dominate social life. If you want immersion and are comfortable being one of very few foreigners in your town, this can be rewarding. If you prefer having other expats nearby for support and socializing, Abruzzo is the better choice. Language becomes critical in Molise. In Abruzzo's expat-heavy towns, you can find English-speaking doctors, lawyers, and service providers. Many locals have some English from dealing with foreign residents. In Molise, English proficiency is minimal outside Campobasso. Italian is essential. Dialects are strong. If you do not speak Italian or are not committed to learning quickly, daily life in Molise will be frustrating. Food culture is outstanding in both regions. Abruzzo is famous for arrosticini, skewered lamb cooked over open flame, saffron from L'Aquila, pecorino cheese, Montepulciano wine. The cuisine emphasizes mountain and pastoral traditions. Molise offers caciocavallo cheese, ventricina sausage, and pasta dishes like cavatelli. The food is hearty, rural, and less internationally known, which means you experience it authentically without tourist inflation. Both regions treat food seriously. You will eat exceptionally well in either place. Cultural life differs in scale. Abruzzo hosts festivals, concerts, and events regularly. L'Aquila is Italy's capital of culture for 2026, meaning significant investment in cultural programming. Sulmona has its famous Easter procession. Coastal towns have summer festivals. There is always something happening. Molise's cultural calendar is quieter. Festivals exist and are deeply traditional, but they are smaller and less frequent. If you need regular cultural stimulation, cinema, theater, live music, Abruzzo provides more options. If you prefer quiet and occasional local festivals, Molise works. Internet connectivity has improved in both regions, but remains variable. Fiber optic is available in larger Abruzzo towns like Pescara, Chieti, and some coastal areas. Smaller hilltop villages may have slower ADSL or rely on mobile networks. Check specific addresses before committing if you work remotely. In Molise, fiber is limited to Campobasso and a few other centers. Most rural areas depend on ADSL or 4G mobile. Speeds can be adequate for video calls and streaming, but test before assuming. Remote workers should verify connectivity in their specific location regardless of region. Property taxes and ongoing costs are similar in both regions. IMU property tax rates are set locally, but typically run 300 to 800 euros annually for a small to medium rural property. Utilities cost about 100 to 150 euros per month. Internet is 30 to 50 euros. If you live modestly, monthly expenses beyond housing can stay under 1,000 euros. The Molise grant, if you qualify, covers 700 of that for 3 years. Cost of living in both regions sits well below northern Italy and far below major cities. Groceries, restaurants, and services cost less. A good meal at a local trattoria runs 15 to 25 euros. Fresh produce at weekly markets is inexpensive. Wine is cheap and excellent. Your money stretches significantly further here than in Tuscany or Lazio. So who should choose Abruzzo? If you want easier integration with existing expat networks, choose Abruzzo. If you need reliable healthcare access and plan to use it regularly, choose Abruzzo. If you want an international airport nearby for frequent travel, choose Abruzzo. If you value having services, shops, and restaurants within easy reach, choose Abruzzo. If you want mountain beach access within an hour's drive, choose Abruzzo. If you speak limited Italian and worry about language barriers, Abruzzo's expat towns make life easier. Who should choose Molise? If you want the absolute lowest property prices, choose Molise. If you qualify for the 700 euro monthly grant and can open a small business, Molise offers unmatched financial support. If you want genuine immersion in Italian village life without tourist presence, choose Molise. If you speak Italian or are committed to learning, Molise rewards you with authentic cultural exchange. If you want to live somewhere truly off the beaten path, where your presence makes a difference to the community, choose Molise. If you value silence, space, and a slower pace above convenience, choose Molise. Here is the honest reality. Abruzzo is the safer choice. It has better infrastructure, more services, easier integration, and lower risk. You are less isolated. Help is more available. If something goes wrong, you have options. Molise is the adventurous choice. It offers deeper affordability and cultural immersion, but demands more from you. You need resilience, flexibility, and genuine commitment to making it work. If you thrive on challenge and want to be part of reviving a disappearing region, Molise offers that opportunity. Both regions are stunningly beautiful. Both offer quality of life that urban Italy and much of Europe cannot match. Both have food, nature, and a pace of life that feels increasingly rare. The question is not which is objectively better. The question is which trade-offs you are willing to make. Do you prioritize services and ease, or affordability and immersion? Do you want community support from other expats, or do you want to be the expat? Do you need an airport nearby, or are you comfortable with longer travel times? Your answers determine which region suits you. If you choose Abruzzo, focus your search on the Chieti province for the best balance of price, community, and coast access. Look at Palmoli, Cassoli, and towns around Bomba Lake. Visit in both summer and winter to understand seasonal variations. Connect with existing expat groups before committing. If you choose Molise, research the grant program thoroughly and confirm current requirements. Visit multiple villages before deciding. Talk to locals about internet, healthcare, and services. Ensure you can genuinely commit to the business requirement and 5-year residency. Test your tolerance for isolation during a long visit, not a short holiday. Either choice offers an Italian life that most people only dream about. Property prices that make relocation financially possible. Natural beauty that never gets old. Food culture that becomes a daily joy, rather than a special occasion. Neighbors who know your name. A slower pace that lets you breathe. The Italian regions east of Rome are not Tuscany. They never will be. That is precisely their appeal. They offer something increasingly rare, Affordable Italian living in places that remain genuinely Italian. Abruzzo and Molise sit side by side, each offering a different version of that dream. Your job is simply to decide which version matches who you are and what you need. Please watch the video appearing on your screen next and do not forget to subscribe.